What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Cosplay Chris, and today I'm answering some of your questions for the month of April. But before that, I also just want to announce, and I did briefly at the end of one of my previous videos, that I am going to Supanova in Melbourne this coming weekend on the Friday, Saturday and Sunday. On the Saturday I'll be cosplaying as Captain Boomerang, and on the Sunday I'll be cosplaying as Pirate Batman. So if you guys are there, if you spot me, please come up, say hi. I'd love to meet you. It's going to be an awesome weekend. We've got this big photo shoot based on all the DC characters from the extended universe and all that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be some great cosplayers there, so I am very excited. I fly out Thursday at midday. So yeah, lots of vlogs, lots of photos, lots of footage to come. So I've got my laptop here with the video that I did the Q&A announcement on a couple of days ago. I'm gonna just randomly go through questions, answer them. Obviously I can't answer everyone because if I try and upload that video, our internet will catch on fire. Okay, so the first question, will you ever cosplay as Spider-Man? If so, which version? Sam Raimi, The Amazing Spider-Man, MCU, or a specific version from the comics? Would be grateful if you could answer, man. Well, I would love to do the Raimi Spider-Man because I just love that suit, and that's not because I'm being biased because of Studio ADI. That was a game changer for me. That's really what got me into hardcore cosplaying. But honestly, I'd love to cosplay as the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man, and I've seen some amazing cosplays with that suit because everyone's tried to emulate the shading from the comics. It's literally like the character has been lifted from the comics and it's been based on a suit. It just looks brilliant. So I would love to do that with raised webbing and the massive lenses as well. Are you gonna do a new bat suit? If so, are we gonna see a Batman Beyond suit or possibly a Red Hood cosplay? A new bat suit is definitely coming. It's not gonna be based on anything in particular. It's gonna be a hybrid. I'm going for the armored look. I really love the tactical bat suit from Justice League. It's grown on me quite a lot, as well as the cowl with the regular suit from Justice League. But I just want to do something very different. So it's going to have elements of, let's say, the Dark Knight, the mech suit, the tactical suit. Because it's one of those things where when you do something that is of your own concept, you can have so much fun with it. You don't have to follow a certain template or structure. Granted that the parts will be mostly 3D printed. We might do some molding of those pieces for the armor. So yeah, essentially it comes down to the fact that myself, Miles, and Ben have gone thirds in this 3D printer, this whiz-bang 3D printer. So the possibilities are endless for what we want to do because we've got so many projects in our head that we want to accomplish, and this printer can really help us achieve that. Would you ever consider coming over here to the UK? Absolutely. The last time I was in the UK, I think I was 12 years old. So my dad used to be a cabin supervisor for Qantas, which is our big Australian airline. He was, you know, international cabin crew. So he took Mum and I on one of his trips that he did to the UK. So we were in the UK for a bit. We took the Eurostar, I think it is, to Paris, and that was just absolutely amazing. But like, mind you, this is like 12-year-old mentality. I want to see it in 28-year-old mentality now and just appreciate the history. Do you think you'd ever get into acting? Absolutely. I have studied acting for quite a long time. When I was in high school, I never excelled in anything academic. It was always the creative stuff, you know, visual arts, drama, all that stuff, you know, industrial technology, stuff like that. And I have done my beginners, intermediate, advanced, and a kind of like an extra curriculum acting course here in Sydney, actually where Chris Hemsworth trained. So I've got the credentials. It just so happens that I'm kind of more passionate about what I do here with prop building and the whole YouTube thing, but I definitely don't want to let it go altogether because I love acting. I love playing characters. I love doing voices. I just love being silly with the whole thing. What do your parents think about YouTube and all of your hard work with the figures? To be honest, I think they're surprised I got this far because I come from a part of Sydney where, you know, you work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and that's usually it. And granted, I did do that at the airport, even though it was shift work, and ultimately it wasn't what I wanted to do. I'm one of those people where I'd rather have the shittiest paycheck in the world, but I'd be doing what I love as opposed to having the best paycheck in the world and being miserable in a job. You know, I want to make props, I want to act, I just want to do all the creative stuff. So when I started this, I think they kind of thought it was a phase, and I totally get it because I would have been the same if if I were a parent. But I think they're so supportive. They're so cool, my parents. You know, every time I upload a video, they're always, oh my god, you got this many views, and check out all the nice comments. So they're great. They're my cheer squad. So they're pretty impressed. How far away are the stars? Well, how far away are you? Because you're a star. When will you be doing a video on your Captain America cosplay? Alrighty, so most of you guys know, like, I've had my life cast sitting here with the whole Captain America helmet kit. I also have a jacket that my mate Cameron sent me. He's based in Tasmania. He sent me this beautiful Captain America leather jacket that pretty much doubles as a cosplay suit. So I need to get the pants for that. I need to get the boots, spats, the gloves, the belt, the harness, and a shield. So the reason being is because it costs a lot of money, because I'm not one of those people. I don't want to get the cheap eBay gloves or belt. I want, you know, real leather to go with this beautiful leather jacket. The shield's easy. I can just go up to my local comic book shop and they've got the big replica shields there and weather that up. So it's more or less a money thing. As soon as I have more funds, I'm definitely going to do it, because that is definitely one on the list that I want to tackle. What is your favorite rock and or metal band? I personally love Metallica, but what's your favorite? PS, love your videos, man. Thank you very much. I have a mix. I'm not a fan of rap or anything. It has to be heavy, you know, heavy rock, punk, hardcore, death metal, stuff like that. So, you know, A Day to Remember, Metallica. I'm not a massive fan of Metallica. I do like some of their songs. We've got Parkway Drive, Thy Art Is Murder. See, I'm one of those people, when I train in the gym and they've just got shitty R&B on in the gym, you can't lift heavy to that. I need something brutal to bench press or deadlift to. So metal and rock has always been my go-to. So they're pretty much my top bands. In terms of like punk rock, Red Hot Chili Peppers all the way. If and when you move to the USA, where would you live? LA. LA is the place to be. I love LA. I think the last trip was my 7th time there. I don't know what it is that keeps bringing me back, among other things. I love the culture. I love the way of life. I love the lifestyle. Obviously, it's a place where if you want to get into the film industry, that's the place to be. So definitely LA. I also love New York. What do you do outside of YouTube? Well, in one of my previous Q&A videos, I did work for QuantusLink. I was made redundant, so then I went about and did this full time. But when I'm not doing the whole YouTube thing, I'm working on orders for my Etsy store. If not, I'll go train at the gym, go for a run, hang out with mates, mountain bike riding, stuff like that, go to the pub with mates. So try and keep as social as possible now that I'm home a lot more and I don't want to become a hermit. I've always wondered, what does Chris say? What's up, my fellow geeks and geekettes, or geekheads? It's geekettes. So the female equivalent of a geek, you know, I'm trying to cater for both male and female. It's like the LA Surfer. What's going on, dudes and dudettes? Or in my case, what's happening, my fellow geeks and geekheads? Problem solved. Do you consider making anything Guardians of the Galaxy related? I could see you in a Star-Lord cosplay. Star-Lord, next to Captain America, is actually on the list. Again, it's a money thing. Probably because of that helmet and that beautiful red leather jacket. I don't know whether to go with the look from Volume 1 or Volume 2. I'm really digging the long red trench coat from Volume 2. If someone wanted to get into prop building, how would they go about it? Do practice as much as you can. Surround yourself with people that do the same, because that way you can bounce ideas off one another, you can learn stuff from one another. You have to start somewhere. Like, you know, I started with Freddy Krueger gloves and then it evolved into sculpting, molding, casting. So try and be a jack of all trades and a master of nothing. I know that sounds bad, but trust me, in the long run, if you want to get into the industry and they can see that you're capable of doing a lot of things, you know, carpentry with woodwork, metalwork, sculpting, molding, casting, you name it, painting, airbrushing, finishing work, weathering, that's a big plus for your resume. I got 2 questions. What is your biggest insecurity about yourself, and has there ever been a moment that made you feel uncomfortable cosplaying in public? Usually when I do the Wolverine cosplay, I kind of get uncomfortable doing that. Other than that, if I'm covered up, that's fine. My biggest insecurity is I'm very hard on myself, and I let that get to me a lot, especially like some of the comments that I read, I was like, oh, god damn it, what have I done? So, and look, I get it. We're in a hobby where it's full of judgment, insecurity, and at the end of the day, cosplay is totally subjective. Not everyone is going to agree on what you're doing or how you're doing it or the end result. So it's just one of those things where you gotta be like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it to the best of my abilities, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. So the less you give a fuck, the better. What's it like being Batman? I think I can answer that, and I think I can answer it really well with this.
Well, being Batman, it's a big responsibility, but someone's gotta do it. I'm Batman.
I recently bought a Ruby's Freddy glove. I'm thinking about aging / weathering the glove because it looks a little too clean for my taste. How can I weather polyester? I actually did the exact same thing. Oh, Matt. I know Matt. How are you, Matt? I did the exact same thing back in 2010. I bought the Ruby's Freddy vs. Jason glove. My best advice is before you prime the sucker, make sure you sand it and kind of make it a rough sandpaper, but not too rough that it's really gonna rough up the surface, because you want that primer just to cling and stick to that surface. And if it's too smooth, even though it's primer, it's not gonna stick that well. So wherever you're gonna be priming to do the copper color, I assume that's what you're gonna be doing, just give it a light sand and then just go about the usual methods of priming, and then your copper colors, and then usually black inks work well, and maybe just a touch of watered down brown acrylic. Which of the Arkham series bat suits do you like the most and why? Oh, it's got to be a toss-up between Origins and Knight, but I think Knight takes the cake. Like, if that was a realistic, functional, practical suit, that would just be amazing. I love it in the like in the opening, when the game opens up and you're going through all the loading screens and all that, and it's got like bits of the suit and there's like steam coming off, and you see all these intricate, beautiful panels of like carbon fiber and plating. That takes the cake for me. That's actually also what I'm basing the hybrid bat suit that I'm eventually going to be making on. So it's obviously going to be Arkham Knight, the mech suit, the Dark Knight suit, and the tactical suit from Justice League. What made you start YouTube? I get this one a lot. I watch people like Jeremy Jones, Chris Stuckman, The Flick Pick, Brick in the Yard Mold Supplies, Monster Makers and Mold Makers and everything. And I love that, and I kind of wanted to share my passion with what I've done so far, and also my love for movies, geek stuff, cosplay. So that's basically it, and it just kind of evolved from there. When are you going to cosplay as your logo? That is on the cards. Actually, I was thinking about that the other day. I need to find someone who can design a good pattern for the bodysuit, because I want like brick texture as well as muscle shading. I've got a mate who can do custom gloves and boots. The belt I'll probably do myself. I'm just looking at the logo now, thinking how I'm also going to go about it. I've got to grow my hair again and get it in that mohawky bit again. So it's on the cards. It's on the list, like Captain America, Star-Lord, the hybrid bat suit. It's all in good time. What are your thoughts about Ben Affleck probably quitting as Batman? As far as I know, he is in a contract where he has to do the Batman, but I think now that the dust has settled when he stepped down from the reins as director and they've got Matt Reeves in directing, I think it's one of those things where he's comfortable now. He goes, okay, this is settled, we can start moving forward. I think he's also realized that he wasn't the problem with Batman vs Superman. He took a lot of criticism personally, even though he shouldn't, because he was a great Batman, and everyone said the movie has a lot of problems, but he was one of the best parts about the film. And he's one of my most favorite Batmans and Bruce Wayne's. Obviously he's in a contract where he can't get out right now, but I don't think he will want to after the Batman. I think it's going to be a great film. You know, we've got Deathstroke in there, played by an amazing actor with an amazing stature to go up against Affleck. What will you be cosplaying for Sydney Supanova? So it's probably going to be Pirate Batman, and I've also got to do an announcement and in-depth video about this. Nathan Drake from Uncharted 3. You heard right. Do a Deadpool cosplay. That's on the list too. My list is massive, and I need to be Bruce Wayne and have his bank account details to pull all this off, but I do want to do a Deadpool, but I do want to also do the makeup. I love Ryan Reynolds' makeup in the Deadpool film, and also it's kind of, I'm very picky about the suits, so there are a lot of amazing suit makers out there. Again, what is your favorite video game? It's a toss-up between Arkham City and Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. I played Arkham City for the first time before I played any of the Arkham games. So Arkham Origins was just about to come out, and I'd always heard about the Arkham games, and like I've stated before, I'm not a massive video game guy. And it was on special at EB for like 20 bucks. It was like the Game of the Year edition, so I bought it, and the experience was, I'll never forget it, because like you get so immersed in the game and the story, the characters, the gameplay, and just visually it's a beautiful game. And then I went back and played Arkham Asylum. So it's kind of going from this big ginormous space and then you're just in Arkham Asylum. So it's kind of a step back, but Arkham Asylum was a fantastic game nonetheless. So it would have made more sense to start from scratch, but obviously I didn't. And then Arkham Origins came along. Wasn't as good because they handed it off to WB Montreal. And then Arkham Knight came around, and Arkham Knight was friggin' amazing. But for a first time game experience, definitely Arkham City and A Thief's End Uncharted 4, that was brilliant. Brilliant gameplay, brilliant story, the characters are amazing, really fleshed them out, especially Drake now that he's older. And that ending was just, it's like I stated in my review, it wasn't too over the top, it wasn't too underdone, it was just perfect. What got you into customizing toys? So whenever I do like a Westfield run with my mates, we go get food, grab a coffee or something, like we just do the rounds. We just, for shits and giggles, go through Toys R Us, Big W, Target, just look at all the stuff they got there. It was just fun, like we're just talking smack the whole time. And I'd go through Toys R Us, for example, and I'd see these amazing looking figures with all this clean, sharp detail because everything's done digitally and 3D printed now, and then they make the molds. I figured these guys need a new paint job and I'd love to do it. And obviously the first one was the Hulkbuster. I remember seeing that in Toys R Us, thinking I gotta redo that. Went back to get him, sold out, so I've managed to get him on a website in Australia, and that's where it all began. Will you do a complete Affleck suit reveal? I haven't seen one yet, and I would have thought you would have done one by now. I really wasn't gonna announce it or make it public. I've actually sold the full Affleck suit. It's gone to my mate Sam, who runs the Superhero Experience. He does children's parties. Mostly because the whole Affleck cosplay is just so oversaturated with the regular suit. And there are guys out there that are absolutely killing it with their bat suits, with their Affleck bat suits. So I don't really need to add to that because they're killing it. Their stature is amazing, their presence is amazing. Like you got Melbourne City Batman, Josh, he looks amazing as Batman. So what I'm going to be doing is concentrating on the Nightmare Affleck. I'm revamping the whole thing. I've got just the upper muscle suit coming. I've got a body suit coming with the raised texture that is pretty much screen accurate to Affleck's body suit. I've got a new cowl coming, so probably update the trench coat as well. But honestly, that's my favorite look. Like, don't get me wrong, the regular suit is absolutely stunning, and Jose and Ironhead Studios did a fantastic job, and that is costume engineering at its best, it was a game changer. But that Nightmare sequence just always struck a chord with me. So that's what I'm going to be concentrating on. Hey Chris, love the channel. Was wondering if you would ever do a Wolverine cosplay leather suit. Ooh, that's a good question. Not the leather suit. I do want to do something very similar to Days of Future Past. I love that look with the skins and the armor plating. You've got the tactical pants and these big heavy looking boots. And also I did manage to find the same make and model baseball gloves that Hugh Jackman wore for that costume. They were baseball gloves. I think they're Eaton brand baseball gloves. So I've just got them lying in the garage in storage, so I need to utilize them. So that is one I want to do down the track. All right, one more. Chris, what's your favorite part of doing YouTube and cosplay, and what's been your favorite cosplay / custom collectible? Favorite part about YouTube and cosplay, I'm doing what I love in life, and obviously having the amazing support of my friends, my family, of course you guys. What would be my favorite cosplay / custom collectible? Favorite cosplays so far either been Nightmare Batman or Captain Boomerang, because you just have a lot of fun with those ones. Favorite custom collectible would have to be the TIE Fighter Crash Wreckage or the Armored Batfleck from Jakks Pacific that I made with the Kryptonite Spear. That's one of those ones, or two of those ones, where I'd stand back and have no more critiquing. I'm like, I'm done, I'm happy, let's crack a beer, let's celebrate. So guys, thank you very much for all your questions. Keep them coming because I'm going to be doing this once a month, maybe twice a month. So if I didn't answer your question, I am sorry, but please post it again when I do announce another Q&A. So with that being said, guys, I'm flying to Melbourne this Thursday, I think at midday. And then we've got Supanova. So I really hope I get to meet some of you guys this weekend. I can't wait. It's going to be an amazing weekend. Wherever you are in the world, take care of yourselves, guys. Hope you're happy, be merry, be silly. And until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.